role of IT support companies these days is managing and protecting your systems. So of course we're going to do the usual things that you would expect, like fixing a problem or repairing a problem, but that's really changed over the last few years. We don't tend to do that kind of stuff as much anymore. We still do it, but things just don't tend to break as much anymore. So a lot of the time what we're doing is managing the systems. That's your security, your antivirus, mail filtering, web filtering, updating, patching. So that's one side of it, and then the other side of it is very much strategic. So we're helping you plan your projects, what's happening with the business, evolving with the business as it's either growing or contracting. So we do all of that type of stuff, as well as the break fix stuff. That's what IT companies do. The biggest threats that companies face these days with regards to cybersecurity are around phishing. Phishing, I think, equates to about 90% of all attacks on businesses. So it doesn't matter how good your security is, you may have all the latest antivirus, all the latest security, but if one of your staff members clicks on an email, that is going to be how you're going to get a problem. When someone clicks on an email, they'll take them to a website, they'll innocently type in their details thinking it's a Microsoft login or an HMRC login or something like that, and then once that happens, the criminals have your data. Now, nothing may happen immediately, but months later, because they've got your login details, they will then start to use that to extort money, target people in your business to get money out of the business. So phishing really is the latest threat. In the future, there's going to be more stuff around phishing, which is voice kind of hacking, but that's a question for another day. The biggest challenge I face when I go and see new clients is they think that switching IT providers is like switching bank accounts, and we're all terrified of switching bank accounts. There's a massive fear that the whole business is going to grind to a halt, passwords are going to get lost, systems are going to go down, and the business is not going to be able to work. In our experience, that only ever happens in one situation. 9 times out of 10, it goes very smoothly. We will speak to your previous IT provider and work everything out. The only time it happens is when there's a dispute with the previous IT provider, a bill hasn't been paid, and they basically lock you out of everything, and that makes it difficult. Actually, even when that happens, it's not that difficult because there are ways and means to get around that and to move things forward, but it really isn't as terrifying as everybody thinks. So when we speak to clients, one of their biggest frustrations is that when they call up their IT company, they get put through to, say, a first-line support guy, a junior guy. They'll take all the details and then they'll pass that on to maybe a second line and sometimes even a third line as well. And it's really frustrating because they have to repeat themselves, say the same thing again and again. And the other thing that we get told is they just want to get through to the right person, and there's usually 1 or 2 people within the business that kind of know what's going on and can sort out their problems, so they get frustrated having to repeat themselves. We've always kept ourselves quite small as a company, so when you call us, you're only ever going to speak to the same 2 people, or 3 people sometimes, and they're all at the same level, they're all senior, and over time they'll get to know your business, and hopefully you'll enjoy working with us. So some of the best questions you can ask your existing IT company is, are they actually managing your services? There's a lot of IT companies out there that are what we would call break fix or reactive. So what they do is they're there in the background, you just call them up when there's a problem and they'll log on or come to your site and fix the problem. That's fine, but actually nowadays with all of these cybersecurity threats, it's much better to have a company that's managing your system, maintaining all your patches and updates, maintaining your antivirus. So some of the questions you can ask your existing IT company is, can I see a report of all my antivirus? Can I see a report of all my systems and are they patched? Can you tell me any threats that we've had on our systems? Can you tell me how old all my systems are and if they need upgrading, things like that? So those kind of questions will help you see whether your IT company is a more reactive company or whether they're a proactive managed service provider. One of the main benefits of working with a smaller IT company like Amazing Support is that you're always going to speak to the same few people. We only hire people at a high level who've got experience. You're not going to get pushed from pillar to post. So if you speak to one of our engineers, they're going to listen to your problem and they're going to get straight on to fixing the problem. You're not going to be moved on to second line support or third line support. You're not going to have to repeat the problem, and you're not going to worry that when you call in that you're going to get the junior guy who doesn't really know what he's doing or what he's talking about.